Welcome back to our on the internet. Okay, so tonight it's this vid by watchmojo.com and it's called 10 Celebrities Who Faced Justice. Okay. Some people thought, just because their status, they thought they're going to get away with shit. I'm curious who's actually on this list. Right? So the ones that are probably committing tax fraud or something like that, wouldn't they be on here? I mean, you thought it wasn't gonna come and bite you. Nah, it came back and bit you now. But yeah, let's see which celebrities were brought to justice. So yeah, I'm just gonna dive right in. So without further ado, let's get into this reaction. I just want to see who's on this list, to be honest. Oh, maybe that woman from the college admissions scandal is gonna be on it. Remember that scandal?
One doesn't anticipate a disaster like this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrities who faced justice.
Give us back what you took. Give it back to us. We lost them.
For this list, we'll be looking at celebrities who faced legal, social, and financial consequences for their actions. Did any celebrity scandals slip the list? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Lori Loughlin. The college admissions scandal rocks the nation in 2019.
And you don't think that maybe you should run this by
It was too scandalous not to include it, surely.
Becky is in Nebraska helping out her mother. I don't want to bother her with such a tiny little thing like this.
Operation Varsity Blues uncovered a wide-ranging criminal conspiracy among a number of American colleges. Admissions officers were paid bribes by rich parents through a third party to get their kids into good schools. More than half were granted admission in USC alone. Two of those kids were the daughters of Full House star Lori Loughlin.
I'd like you to meet the newest member of the Channel 8 family, Miss Rebecca Donaldson.
It's wonderful to meet you.
It's wonderful to meet you, too. You're going to hire her?
Loughlin and her husband were both found guilty. She was sentenced to 2 months in prison. That prison sentence cost her a lucrative deal with Hallmark. Ironically, the scandal was foreshadowed decades earlier in an episode of Full House.
We may have, well, he may have embellished, lied a bit on our application.
Honest. She's been on this honesty kick all week.
Number 9. Julie and Todd Chrisley.
I didn't know
Chrisley
that.
Knows Best was a USA Network reality TV show following Georgia real estate agent Todd Chrisley and his family.
Chase, why are you in here?
Is that what that guy's known for? This guy, I heard rumors and shit that oh yeah, secret boyfriend, the boyfriend's exposing him and shit and all that. Allegedly, I was like, what? But nah, I remember watching this show. I saw the advert for it first, and I thought, oh fuck it, I'll give it an episode watch. I watched the episode where the son Chase got a tire. That shit was mad funny. Now he's actually when he was getting lasered off. That
The
shit
show
was
was a
funny.
hit, running for several years thanks to Todd's big personality and his family's lavish lifestyle. In 2022, the show had to be cancelled. As it turns out, the Chrisleys didn't come by their wealth honestly. Julie and Todd Chrisley were both arrested and convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. In January 2023, Julie went to federal prison in Kentucky for a 7-year sentence. Shortly after, Todd began his 12-year sentence in Florida.
Oh
Both
shit.
of them must inform probation if they spend more than $1,000, which may be tough considering their previous spending habit.
This shit's too good to be true, innit?
Number 8.
Yeah, pause for a sec. It's crazy how you see all these famous people, right? Flaunting their wealth on Instagram. You see it on these reality shows, and it's like... it's too good to be true. Some of these aren't living as lavish as they're claiming. Now they're not. They're faking it for the cameras and all that shit. Yeah, and if they do have that kind of money, they definitely... Not all of them got it the legit way. But damn. That shit's mad.
Will Smith.
Let us make this a shoot.
Is this because of Slapgate, though, Will? No.
You don't want to risk all that.
Nah, it's
do you,
not that.
The 2022 Oscars blew up thanks to a slap heard round the world. Chris Rock cracked wise about Will Smith's wife,
It looked more like a
Jada.
punch more than anything, but it was a
Host
slap.
suffers from alopecia, causing her to lose her hair. Will then proceeded to approach the stage, wind up, and smack the hell out of the comedian. The crowd was shocked, and the situation was all over the online discourse for days. Though Smith has since apologized, that didn't stop Rock from making the incident the centerpiece of his 2023 Netflix special.
I took that hit like Pacquiao.
The Academy, too, decided that Will Smith would be banned from the Oscars for the next decade. Number 7. Martha Stewart.
Cut the loaf in half. I'm using a serrated bread knife.
In the 1990s, Martha Stewart created a home decor and home cooking media empire. Like most wealthy people, Stewart invested her money. Unfortunately, in the early 2000s, those investments found the famous homemaker in hot water. Stewart was investigated by the FBI for insider trading. She sold thousands of shares of Imclone stock just one day before the pharma company's stock price dropped like a rock.
One doesn't anticipate a disaster like this.
Martha Stewart faced decades of potential prison time until the judge tossed out the fraud charges. She was only convicted of obstruction of justice for lying to the FBI and went to prison for 5 months in 2004 and 2005.
But other people have done the same kind of thing. Walt Disney, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein.
Damn.
Those are all people who have become well-known, well-respected brands.
Number 6. DMX.
Live to suffer. To survive.
Rest in peace, DMX.
To find meaning in the suffering.
You would be hard-pressed to find a bigger rap star in the late 90s than DMX. He released 3 albums in 2 years, the last of which went sextuple platinum. Unfortunately, the rapper was plagued by substance use disorder, mental health issues, and legal problems his entire adult life. DMX was arrested for everything under the sun across half a dozen states over 3 decades. He faced jail and prison time for drugs, DUIs, weapons charges, parole violations, and at least 1 charge of impersonating a federal agent. It all culminated
What?
in a federal tax fraud conviction in 2017. Sadly, the beloved rapper's life was cut short in 2021 by a drug-induced heart attack. Number 5,
That's sad.
Robert Downey Jr. Before launching the MCU as Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. had a reputation as a Hollywood bad boy. Downey splashed onto the scene as part of the Brat Pack in the 1980s. His career exploded in the late 80s and early 90s until his substance use disorder set him back. Downey had many run-ins with the law during the 1990s. In 1996, he was arrested for drug possession while speeding with an unloaded Magnum. He went to jail in 1997 and again 2 years later for missing court-mandated drug tests. He was fired from Ally McBeal after another arrest in 2001. After years of rehab, Downey was able to get his life and career back on track in the mid-2000s.
At least he bounced back.
Seriously, just going to start off with 1% thrust capacity.
Number 4, Wesley Snipes. There were fewer action stars in the 80s and 90s
Jesus Christ, what did
bigger
he do
than
now?
Wesley Snipes.
Bring your ass back to life. You hear me?
Missed the opportunity to get back at you? No way. Let's do it.
His combination of quick wit and quicker fists made him a hit with audiences around the world. It all came crashing down in 2006 when Snipes was arrested for tax fraud.
I told you. You'll get your money.
The action star
Pay your
didn't
taxes,
pay
mate,
tax
pay
for
your
6
taxes.
years straight. He went the sovereign citizen route in his defense, claiming to be a non-resident citizen of the United States. That excuse didn't fly, and in 2008, he was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. His sentence started in 2010, and after his release in 2013, Snipes spent years fighting restitution. Ultimately, the courts ruled that a federal tax lien of over $23 million should stay in place.
23 million.
Number 3, Bill Cosby.
I'm surprised he's not number
Bill
one.
Cosby was at one point the most famous comedian in America.
Dear, I just love gazpacho soup.
Considered to be America's dad, Cosby was famous for pushing respectability culture. Despite this persona, his own bad behavior was an open secret for decades. He'd been making jokes about Spanish fly since 1969. In 2014, the story finally broke through to the mainstream media. Cosby had allegedly assaulted dozens of women for decades. After several trials, Cosby was convicted on 3 counts of sexual assault in 2018. He was sentenced to a decade in prison. After years of appeals, his conviction was overturned on a technicality and he was released. Still, Cosby's legacy and reputation are forever tainted.
Yes, it's
by
completely
his
down the
actions.
tubes now.
Oh, don't stop after brushing. Brushing your teeth only targets a quarter of your
This
mouth.
point about that it took so long to.
Number 2, Kevin Spacey. In 2017, the hashtag #MeToo movement uncovered a lot of criminal behavior under a lot of rocks. Actor Anthony Rapp joins the movement with accusations against Kevin Spacey.
The actor says he felt compelled to share his story now after so many women came forward with accusations against Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein.
Rapp accused Spacey of physically trying to seduce him in 1986 when he was underage. Rapp's accusation got the ball rolling, and allegations soon came out of the woodwork. Spacey was replaced in the movie All the Money in the World, and his scenes were reshot. He has struggled to find mainstream work ever since.
I'm beyond horrified to hear his story. I honestly do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave then, as he describes, I owe him the
But I don't remember
sincerest
excuse,
apology
don't
for
even
what would
try
have
it.
been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, and I am sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years.
In 2018, Spacey was arrested for sexual assault in Massachusetts, though the charges were dropped. Rapp lost his lawsuit in 2022. Spacey still faces a criminal trial in June 2023 in the UK. Whatever awaits, Spacey's star has officially faded. Before we continue,
most definitely.
be sure to subscribe
Now, who's
to
number
our
one?
channel and ring the bell to get
Let's see who
notified
number one
about
is.
our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, R. Kelly.
The Pied
For
Piper of
almost
R&B.
30 years,
Of course.
R. Kelly was the king of R&B. With multiple gold and platinum records under his belt, he could musically do no wrong.
There are miracles in life I must achieve.
The same could not be said for his personal behavior. Allegations and investigations swirled around him for years. He was accused of sexual assault and running a cult. Nothing stuck. Then in 2018, the BBC ran a documentary about the allegations. Boycotts and recriminations of industry complicity spread like wildfire.
I felt like my silence allowed it to continue. I worked up the courage to come forward and tell my story. A part of me always felt like maybe I did something for him to treat me that way. I want my story to be heard.
The dam broke, and dozens of state and federal indictments followed. In 2021, Kelly was convicted on 9 counts of racketeering and trafficking. In 2022, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. 6 months later, he was sentenced to another 20.
And showed no
Jesus
remorse. And in
Christ.
fact, seemed to believe that as a music superstar, he was somehow immune from having to behave lawfully.
Well, nigga, crime eventually paid and got your ass. Anyway, I think the disappointing part about all this is that it took so long for these people to be brought to justice more than anything. Like they probably thought, nah, I'm famous, I got the money, I'll be able to throw money at the problem. No, nigga. Yeah, I bet all the people that were playing, I believe I could fly at their graduations and all that shit, they probably now like, yeah, deleted that out of the playlist now. Like, nah. I don't blame them. That's just fucking disgusting. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone can listen to any of his songs the same way ever again now. After all that. Lord knows I can't. Hey, that's right, come see what people are saying right now. Oh, someone said, honorable mentions. Someone in the comments goes, honorable mentions. Harvey Weinstein, of course. Jared Focal, I'm pretty sure I butchered the name. Joe and Teresa Judice, Mike Tyson, Michael Jace. Someone said, I grew up with Little Bill and it still hurts. Why, Bill, why? I should be laughing, this is serious. Someone said, these celebrities may have done wrong, but at least some of them are trying to redeem themselves. Well, Robert Downey Jr., he managed to turn everything around from the looks of things. Because I didn't know about this. The others, not so much. Well, one passed away, so they couldn't even... Yeah, rest in peace, DMX. This shit was a mess, though. I knew about the Martha Stewart one, the Chrisleys one, and R. Kelly, obviously. But the fact that it took so long for them to finally take the R. Kelly one seriously, and then finally, when they carry this guy off in cuffs, is just the maddest part. Jesus Christ. People really will turn a blind eye just because of somebody's name and the money they have. It's just nuts to me. But yeah, this is a mess, though. Interesting vid, though, but a fucking mess. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like, subscribe if you want. I post if I feel like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.